Okay.
Hey everybody, we're back on the podcast. This is the fanfic that we left off of more part 24, Piss and Vinegar.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Yeah?
That was a good song.
Yeah.
So yeah, our stream cut out after the Ask Reddit questions, and the only thing we had left were the fic. So we thought, hey, here we go, here's the fic.
24.5.
Man, I should have sent this to you, huh? I should have sent
My
it to
phone's
you
dead, so it
so
don't
you
matter
could
now.
you could do it. No, just half the screen, man. You go on half the screen, right? And you go on half the screen.
I've never seen this shit movie, man. I've never even seen Toy Story, but okay.
Okay. How is it disconnecting or reconnecting? We're just recording.
Dude, you're streaming on OBS.
Oh, man. No, I'm not.
It says, yeah, it's fine. We're still recording. What's Andy
I
doing?
just hit start recording. That's all I did. All right. Start reading.
What's Andy doing?
Make it sexy.
What's Andy doing with his hand?
That's right, bitch.
It was a cold winter Saturday morning. 15-year-old Andy was playing video games in his room, and his lovable toys were in their usual places. His mom, extra Pixar thick, and sister had gone out to visit some relatives over the weekend, so he was home alone for a couple of days. Recently, Andy had been having strangely yet pleasurable dreams about the girls at his school, in which he'd find himself banging them furiously, only for him to wake up in a pool of his own splooge.
Jesus.
And his mother had begun to take notice that his son's sheets were wetter,
What? That
stickier
is so
than usual.
Wait, than usual? How wet and sticky were they usually? What the fuck?
And when his mother would inquire, he'd tell her that the dog kept humping the pillow and blanket when Andy wasn't looking. But he knew it was a matter of
That's
time
not making it sexy.
until his mother remembered the dog had gotten a vasectomy.
That doesn't
So
stop
he
her
knew he had to stop somehow.
Wait, hang on. You can still blow loads when you have a vasectomy.
No, you can't, bro.
Yes, you can.
No, your dick.
Jizz still comes out. It's just done. It just don't have no kids.
No, it's just air. Just. Yeah. It sounds painful. Just imagine, like, you shoot air out your dick like
God.
a seal. Oh, this is in the middle of.
God,
dick.
imagine having a kidney stone and then jacking off and then it blows him out with the air.
God.
Just,
I'm done.
pop that right out.
Then he remembered what he had learned in sex ed class and what the teachers said the boys did once they hit puberty to keep their hormones in check and their pipes clean, and he knew what he had to do. So he turned his game off, ran to his mom's bathroom and grabbed the strawberry banana lotion and
Oh my
turned
God.
in his desk computer. The toys were amazed as they saw how quickly and efficiently Andy moved to set up his little plan. So what do you think Andy's gonna do? Oh wait, hold on. Wait, let me get a Woody voice. So what do you think Andy's gonna do? Woody said to Buzz as they sat next to each other against the corner of the room, out of Andy's sight, but close enough to see what he'd do on the computer chair. Buzz. Beats me, but if we know Andy, then we know the little bitch is probably gonna play with the lotion, like with what we see him doing with his dick in his sleep.
Wait, what?
Replied Buzz.
Why are you doing that voice? That is so unsettling. Why'd you give him a stutter?
They watched as Andy had turned the lights off and finished setting things up, and had opened up the web browser and typed in what seems to be blonde girl's big boobies. And they heard another click, and within a few seconds, they began to hear moaning sounds from the computer. As Buzz and Woody glanced up at the screen, they weren't prepared for what they saw. A naked, blonde, busty woman was getting pounded by a tall, muscular black man dressed in nothing but a tuxedo.
in nothing but a whole tuxedo.
What the fuck? To infinite and beyond. This had overstimulated Buzz's wiring and triggered his built-in speech mechanism. Buzz and Woody then became immobile and inanimate, as they usually do when human faces their direction. The fuck was that? Andy, now paranoid because this was his first time whacking off, you know.
Was his first time
Now,
whacking it.
Andy, now paranoid because was his first time whacking it, turned around and saw his favorite toys lying there. For some reason, even though Andy considered Buzz and Woody to be nothing but hollow toys, they were practically his best friends, and he felt as if they were watching him and looking down on him, so he got up and turned them around.
Why want to do it?
Andy then returned to his chair and began removing all his clothes. The toys now have gathered around in their secure watching spots, were astonished at what they could see Andy doing. Andy was now completely nude and had dabbed the strawberry banana lotion onto his hand and began stroking himself slowly while entranced by the screen. Motherfucker, it looks like our Andy's becoming a man. He's gonna be bringing bitches up in this room soon, said Buzz to Mr. Potato Head as they high-fived each other. It was about 5 minutes. Andy was going and wanking furiously and passionately, with a somewhat angry expression on his face, grinding his teeth. Jessie, Barbie, and Bo Peep, who had been previously placed on the desktop computer by Andy's younger sister, were now watching in amazement, and out of nowhere, like a savage animal, Andy grabbed Jessie with his free hand and started muttering weird shit to her while he was jacking it hard and fast. I love you, Jessie, you redhead bitch. Look into my eyes. I love you. You're my favorite toy. Yes, you love me too, yelled Andy. He then began to strangle her to derive some form of sexual thrill. Jessie was absolutely mortified and shocked by this, being held in his sweaty grip and being looked at with such malice and lust. In fact, her eyes widened slightly in fear, but Andy was too horny to notice. She wanted to scream. In a way, Andy wanted her to scream. Scream louder than when she was abandoned by her first owner all those years ago.
Get dunked on, bitch!
Fuck. Okay, hold on, wait. I gotta... That sick bastard! I dare you to touch her like that! Me and her won't be the only ones in this room with detachable body parts, Mr. Potato Head quietly threatened. Andy then threw Jessie violently against the wall and then grabbed Bo Peep and threw her against the wall because he didn't like her body type.
Wait, what?
Then he finally made his way to the Barbie doll that the other toys had brought with them from the toy store after their last adventure. He then ripped off all her clothes savagely and began licking her naked plastic body as he furiously flapped to her with the sound of the porn ominously playing in the background.
Ominously, Jesus
He was
Christ.
making solid, intense eye contact with her. Then Andy began even saying crazier shit. His brain was now in irrational primal mode. I love you, my blonde princess. Let's get married. You like this, don't you? You like my cock, don't you? I'll create a machine that'll make you larger, your boobs too, and then make you a real woman completely because I love you. I love you, you blonde whore. He then ruthlessly tossed her aside against the wall like she was nothing. The toys were in shock. Had this been the same lovable child that they had grown to love? Over the years, a wave of sorrow had begun to move across all the toys in the room at the thought of this being the new Andy. A vile, sex-obsessed monster that made Sid look like a fucking saint. I'm gonna come! I'm gonna fucking come! Said Andy angrily. Amidst all the preparation, Andy had forgotten to grab a towel or something to clean up the after fun splooge. No one was prepared for what had happened next. Andy grabbed Miss Potato Head and forced open her back entry and cummed gallons into the back Miss Potato Head. You let this come, don't you? Yeah, you're coming. Screamed Andy. It was finally over. Andy then threw Miss Potato Head into the trash like he did with so many of the other female toys. Pulled up his underwear, put on his clothes, and went back to playing his video games. As soon as Andy was focused on the video games, Mr. Potato Head ran to Head and held her in his arms. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my beloved. I won't let him do this to you again. I'm sorry. A single tear ran down Mr. Potato Head's cheek as he stared intently at Andy. The boy he once loved, now the man he shall always hate. This experience had not affected him in the slightest. But the lasting impact this had on the toys was permanent. They had witnessed the destruction of Andy's loving innocence and transition into a pubescent, horny adolescent monster. Some of them the victims of direct sexual abuse, and all of them emotionally scared. I guess Andy was I guess Andy has found a new toy, cried one soul amidst. I guess Andy has found a new toy, cried one soul
amidst the room of once loved toys.
The end.